Hello YouTube. All right, thank you very much for joining me today. Hopefully everybody is doing well. For today's video, I'm just going to share with you some books that I picked up just recently. And since it's not going to be that long of a video, I thought I might as well also add a discussion and share with you some thoughts that I've had recently regarding the comic book market and community. All right, so we'll do all that after the short video intro. See you soon. Okay, so Comic Sniper here. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for watching my channel, along with myself and my trusty sidekick, Mark III. We are going to be getting into some local comic book pickups. There's not a lot. There's a few here that I've gotten just recently. And after that, we'll go into a little bit of a discussion regarding the thoughts I've had regarding some of the issues with the comic book community. Okay, but first off, we're going to start with a few things that I picked up. This is from my LCS. We'll start with this one. This is a beauty. This is Black Panther #1. And it's by Stanley Artgerm Lau cover. That's a beautiful, just check that out. It's when I saw this, I thought the composition on it was just phenomenal. I like how it captures the where the movie was and how they how well they did. So this is definitely had to add this to my collection. So, and then also there was, of course, the big thing in the new comic book lately is, of course, Amazing Spider-Man #800. Now, there was some good and bad things about it. I picked up a few. This is the Rivera cover, #800. Now, for $10 an issue, I think I'm not happy about it. I mean, I picked up a few. I kind of committed to my local to my LCS on picking up some. I didn't pick up all of them. The $10 a pop, that's really steep, and that gets up there really fast. So but I did pick this one up. I'm gonna be cherry picking what I wanted. So and I picked up 3 issues. I think I'm gonna pick up one more, and then that's it. So but I've read the story. It's phenomenal. So that's the bad thing is, hey, it's really expensive. B, unbelievable amount of variant covers for this thing. I know it's a milestone issue with the #800, but that we're getting up to the 30s, 50s. I don't even know how many variant covers are out there, and it just the cost is just astronomical for this. So that's why. But if you've read the story, and I'm not going to give anything away, it was a phenomenal story. It's a really big book too. It's really thick. Not sure if you can see that. See how thick it is. But yeah, but the story with the Red Goblin and how they move from here to going to be 801. I think it's a phenomenal story. It's a really good read, guys. I would highly recommend definitely picking up one copy, whichever one, at least to read the story, especially if you've been keeping up with the Red Goblin saga so far. So I got this one. I also picked up this variant edition. For the life of me, I'm kind of lost. I can't remember who the artist on this one now. I'm just trying to think as well. And of course my 3rd issue. Okay, so that's it. I only picked up 3, and like I said, I might do another. We'll see. Again, it's a little on the expensive side, so but I did commit. Like I said, I hate to back out on anything so I do appreciate what the local comic book store, it's not really their control. So yeah, that's why So I at least pick up a few. So, all right, so that's from my local comic book store. And then I also picked this up. This last set I picked up from just kind of going around, and I picked up the X Factor #1. This I picked up from a record store of all places. There's a few you know, secondhand places, antiques, that kind of stuff that I kind of go see, because sometimes they'll have or used bookstores. Sometimes they will have a comic books that come in, and also this record store, they actually have some comics there as well. They have some long boxes. So every once in a while they get a few in. People will bring in their comics, and then I'll check it out. They don't have a lot of good stuff. I think most of the time they're not after the issue so much. They don't go researching all the issues. So that's why they just do things like, if it's a #1, they hike up the price a little bit more. If it's a 12 cents, of course they'll they look at that. So the normal stuff. I've found really good deals there in the past. I remember, just off the top of my head, I picked up a Secret Wars #8, the black costume one, and I picked that up for like $2. So, and it was a decent enough coffee. So, but I picked this up from there. Not a huge key or anything, but it is a #1. We'll see what happens with that. I also picked up a Tomb Raiders. This is Journeys, #4. The only reason why I picked this up, why I pick up any of these, is because of Adam Hughes. It's an Adam Hughes cover, fantastic. You know, like I've said in my previous videos, you know, I love his work, and whenever I come across an Adam Hughes and I can get it for cheap, definitely gonna pick that up. So that's that. And then also picked up this other one, another Laura Croft Tomb Raider. This is #42. Again, fantastic cover by Adam Hughes. You know, so really happy to have this. I only picked it up for $1. So definitely gonna that's gonna stay with me. And lastly, I also got this. Now this is the Ultimate Fantastic Four #23, and Greg Land cover. This is it's just the composition of this. It's just fantastic. It screams the 70s horror genre, and you know what you see in the posters. So ever since I've seen people showcase this a few times here and there, and it's not a terrible, you know, expensive comic book by any means. It's not, but it is, for some reason, I've had a hard enough time, you know, actually acquiring this. So, but finding it out in the wild is always a good thing, and then you know, finding it for $1, so it's that's always better. Again, it's not a key or anything. It's just, I just love that cover. You know, strictly for the cover, how it depicts kind of like the 70s horror genre. So, and that's it. That's it for my pickup for this week. And so, up next I wanted to bring up a subject that's kind of been floating around for a little while, and I'm seeing, you know, kind of people will kind of bring up their thoughts, and it has to do with this. And let me just bring something up here. Okay, so let's see if we can't excuse all the shaking. I'm just gonna, okay, let's see if we can't do this. Okay, so this is an ad on eBay, and as you can see, it's for a very popularity of Amazing Spider-Man #361. Now, and this one is the of course it's a 9/8 issue. and it's signed by Stan. It's a 3-time signature: Stan Lee, Mark Bagley, and David Michelin. Anyways, you know who. Sorry if I screw up the pronunciation of that. But what he's asking for this book is $1,800. Okay. Now, what people will do is, you know, they jump all over this thing, saying that it's crazy how he's asking this much for it, when the GPA on this book. So I've got GPA here, and sorry. So if we pick out the same book, so there's a 9.8 signature series, Lee, Bagley again, and that's going for, as far as GPA is concerned, let's say somewhere around $800, and yet this guy is being so greedy that he's asking $1,800 for his book. Now, and then, you know, people are saying that's just uncalled for. Why does he need to ask so much for his book? They should be you know, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. And my response to that has been, why do you care? Like, you know, as far as I'm concerned, unless I woke up this morning and we turned it to a communist country, this North America, isn't this still a free country and in a free market, right? Because let's face it, you know, a lot of times people will say, well, you know, he's just being greedy and he's taking advantage of the newbies out there who doesn't know any better. Well, if you're a newbie and you're looking at this and you're thinking, hey, I'm going to spend $1,800, you have to have $1,800 to spare as your, you know, to spend on a comic book. That's your money. Who am I to tell you you can't, right? Like, for instance, there's I've got another. Let's get another example here. So this one's another popular one. I'm just picking out. This is, you know, these are extremes, and I understand this doesn't happen all the time, guys. This, you know, but what people will bring out is the extremes, and, you know, jump all over that. For instance, this is the Avenging Spider-Man number 9. This is very popular right now with the oncoming of the Captain Marvel's movie. This one here is a 9.8 signed by Stan Lee. Definitely a hot book, and it's rising. Okay, now this guy is asking almost $2,000 for his copy. Now, people would say, you know, some people do have GPA, and they'll jump on this and say, hey, you know, a typical 9.8 of this is somewhere around $400 or $500, maybe $600 at the most. Okay, and as you can see, it's climbing. It's on the way up. Now, a Stan Lee signed copy is only $400. Fine. I mean, if you don't like the Stan Lee signature, let's say it's just going off of a regular 9.8. That's only, you know, you should be only charging $500 to $600, or maybe just above GPA. Guys, that's starting down a slippery slope as far as I'm concerned. Okay, because who's to dictate what people need to charge for their books, right? Because if it was your book, then how would you like somebody telling you what you need to sell your book for? Now, if you want to sell your book for GPA or below GPA or whatnot, again, that is your choice. Isn't that the way it has to be? Because I wouldn't want anybody telling me, hey, I'm going to be charging too much for it. When I go looking for deals, and I don't buy, you know, I decide my pricing based on several factors. GPA for me is just a tool that I use to as a guide, not as a Bible to set what people, will need to set their prices on, because I myself have gone and bought below and above GPA, okay, for raw as well as graded books, because the simple fact is, if I think, let's say for instance that that Spider-Man 361, if I think that's a good deal, I'll pay for that, and nobody's gonna tell me that I can't. And if I'm happy with the purchase, isn't that all that? Who's to tell me that I'm wrong? And if this thing takes off and becomes the next, Hulk 181, then and it goes up to $10,000, $20,000, then who's laughing then, right? So it's not the fact that what this guy is asking is wrong. I myself I'm not going to pay this. And that's where the voting comes in. That's where I have my say, is because I will not pay for that. Therefore, I'm telling this guy by how I don't buy it where I'm putting my dollars, right? So if this guy cares to, he's not really wanting to sell it, then, and he's just fishing, and that's what he's probably doing. But sometimes somebody will. Okay, and that's what he's doing. Now you're saying, well, what about the people that don't know any better? Well, guys, what about guys who, you find, let's say you find this a Hulk 181 in a dollar bin. Are you going to turn around and tell the owner, hey, listen, by the way, you're asking too little for this. You should be charging me, $20,000, or you should be charging me $10,000 or $8,000, depending on the grade that you find it in, right? You're not. We hear about that all the time. Guys finding it in the dollar bin or in a garage sale or whatnot, and they'll pay what the guy's asking for, whether it's a very, very low amount, and they consider themselves, that's an epic find. You don't see people jumping down their throat going, hey, you took advantage of that guy. You should have paid him, $2,000 for that book, right? But for some reason, it doesn't go this way. What I'm saying, so all I'm saying is, guys, let the free market dictate what it will, right? That's what this means. If people are paying, because look, back in 2000, or let's say 2000, let me just open this up. Okay, 2013. 2009. Look at this. This was a 9.8, was only less than $100. Okay, but since the popularity of this book has gone up, so does the price. Now, if I'd in 2002 or 2003, if I paid $200 for this book, if I was fishing and I said, hey, I found this book, let's say for $200, and I bought it, I'm like, oh, damn it, I bought it for $200. Do you think I'd be complaining today when this book is now going for anywhere between $600 to, nominally $300, $400, $500? I'm actually going to make out really well, wouldn't I? So that's what I'm saying. Don't look, just because somebody is asking for something doesn't mean, hey, that he's going to get it. And B, it doesn't mean that it's wrong that he gets it. So anyway, this is, guys, just for instance, this is just my viewpoint, okay? And I just wanted to make sure, I know sometimes this is not the popular view, and I know I'm gonna probably get a lot of thumbs down for this, speaking my mind on this subject, but what I feel is what the people who complain about people asking too much for their books, to me, that's uncalled for, because that is not what how a free society works, right? If, look, just for instance, Apple, they're who would have thought a few years ago that you will actually be selling a phone, whether it be a smartphone or not, for $1,000, and yet is Apple striving to sell it? No, people have that iPhone X,
People pay for it because they want it, right? Who's to say they're wrong, right? Whether they are or not, that's their money. They worked hard for it, and if they want to indulge in that, so be it. I can argue all day long about my wife's purse and how women spend thousands of dollars on a bag that, to me, it's just holds junk, right? I don't know. Again, women, sorry, just my thought. Okay, I know men have a lot of, including comic books, have as well, things that they spend money on that seems frivolous, but again, that's what a free market is, and I think the prices will be set by those who buy. Okay, if there's no need, if the book isn't popular, for instance, let's say I'm just trying to think of a book. I actually just shot my there's a video I'm going to be put out. I can't remember if I put it out yet, but books that have gone down in value that it's good to pick up. They go down in value because they're not popular, and people are not looking at them, and the people are not buying them. Hence, you can ask what you want, but if people don't want to buy it, you're not going to be able to sell it. So that's your prerogative, and that's okay, because people will dictate how the prices are being set, and if people are buying it for that, then the price will go up. Because imagine, and people say, well, the GPA, you should be paying more than GPA for anything. Guys, if people didn't pay or didn't buy this book for more than in 2002, right? If people didn't pay, if all people paid was $100 because it was GPA, and all people sold it for was $100 because it's GPA, how would this book ever go up in value? How would a Hulk 181 ever go up in value if people only asked for and paid and bought for that? Now you're saying, well, that's great. Everybody can have. No, that's not the point. People who have sat on their books for a very long time, who are cashing in now, okay, they are doing that because they've invested, okay, and with any investment, there's a chance for something to either go up or down. Without that, there's always an inherent amount of risk. That's what you have to take, right? I could purchase this book, like I said, at $200. Whether I overpaid for it or not, it's debatable. If I like the book, if that's what I want in my collection, and it sits around for 10, 20 years because I like having it in my collection, who's to say I overpaid, right? Because it's my money. To me, the value, the sentimental value, let's say it means more to me than the actual sticker price that I paid for. Isn't that what matters, and what makes me happy, what makes you happy, and how you collect your comic books, right? So in essence, just because GPA or anything else, guys, and this is not just on eBay, okay? I'm hearing this, guys, complaining about this topic on Instagram, Facebook, you name it, anywhere there's social media. The people are saying, the CGC forum, right? People there only bought and sold within the GPA prices. Again, if you only ever buy and sell on GPA, the price would never go up, it would never go down. It would be stalemate, and therefore what would be the incentive for me to buy a $100 book and then turn around later and just sell it for another $100? I'm just basically my $100, right? So, but if I have an incentive to sell it because it's gone up in popularity, hence I'm able to profit from it. And that's what makes the free market great, because it creates opportunities. Okay, now for those of you who don't want to pull the trigger, okay, I know there was just a video I was watching just recently of a guy who sent in like 20 Amazing Spider-Man 361. That's why this was on in my head. And he got nothing but 9/8. But then again, he bought 50 of one other title, and that's not going anywhere. He bought another 50 of another title, that didn't go anywhere. But out of the, you know, all the titles that he bought multiples on, okay, but he had to pay money for those, his hard-earned money. Where you know, several of the copies didn't go anywhere, and they're just gonna sit around. Basically, you know, we've heard this before. It's not even worth the paper it's printed on, but he's cashing in on the one lot that did, because he, you know, he's invested. Okay, some lost, some win, and since he got a lot of 9/8s too, and by doing so, he's going to be cashing in, and he's going to be winning out eventually in the long run because of that. And you have to take the chance. If you're not willing to take that chance, then guys, just collect the way you want, pay what you want, set your prices, but don't be crying about what other people want for their book, because this is a free country, and you don't want anybody telling you what your book should be worth, what you should be selling yours for, and what you should be buying, right? Because people tell you all the time, hey, why are you wasting your money on that new book? You should be buying Silver Age. That's where the money is. Or you should be buying only keys, or only first appearances, only this variants, right? Wrong. This hobby has enough room for everybody to collect what they want, how they want, and pay for, basically, you know, hey, I can't afford what other guys, they have multiple Amazing Fantasy 15s. I don't have one. It's on my want list and my wish list, but I don't know if I'm ever going to get one, or I'm going to get one right away. Okay, but again, that's just because my pocketbook is not as deep as theirs, and that's okay, right? I think, you know, Nicolas Cage was in our hobby, and he, you know, he forked out several $1 million for an action #1. Guys, everybody, this hobby has enough room for everybody. Okay, do I want an action #1? I'd be crazy not to, but I know it's way out of my league, so therefore, just to see it, you know, in picture and maybe up close is enough for me at this point. Will I ever have one? I doubt it. So, but again, I don't hold any grudges for anybody who sold and bought that for that crazy price, right? And I know, sorry, I'm kind of rambling on here, guys. I know I'm taking a long time with this topic, but regardless, again, thank you very much for, you know, staying with me on this and listening to what I have to say, because it does kind of you know, hit a chord with me that people seem to want to dictate what other people should and shouldn't do with their books. So again, thank you very much for staying with me for this time. Again, I really appreciate it. And shout out goes out to my newest subscriber. Thank you very much, as well as to all my subscribers out there. I'll be, the names of my some newest subscribers will be on the screen soon. And if you also want your name on my future videos, I'll be happy to do so. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel. Okay, I'll get around to your subscription in time. And also, if you enjoy my video and you know, want to see more of my pickups and my rants, my ramblings, please hit the like button. You know, it tells me that at least I'm doing the right thing, and I should be making more, and it motivates me to go ahead and make more videos. And then also, if you want to know other videos that I've had that I make, and maybe watch my other future videos, go ahead and ring the notification bell. And of course, the whole purpose of this topic is to get the discussion going. You know, whether you agree or disagree with me, that's okay. You know, everybody has a point of view, and I respect each and every one of you, and I welcome anybody and everybody to chime in and give me your thoughts by leaving a comment. And I promise at some point I will get back to you and answer your suggestions, questions, and whatnot. Okay, and I would just want to make sure you know, all we do is all I ask for is just respect. Whether you know, whether your opinion is different from mine, that's okay. But if we can keep a respectable topic going, that's, you know, I'm so happy for that. Okay, so again, thank you for your time, guys. While you're out there checking out all the eBay you know, sales that are out there, whether you're buying it out there or like here at your local hobby stores, or finding it out on obscure places, make sure you enjoy the hunt. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time. Bye bye now.